it's fun to watch it, but the thing I think that makes it so fun to watch is it looks like you're having fun being in it.
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah. It was really fun. Not for Quincy so much, but for me, I had a great time. I was just getting at him the entire time. I didn't even talk to him the whole day, just so it read on camera pretty real.
Is that the case?
Yeah, man. He was my boy. You know, Quincy was the first castmate I ever met. So I really didn't talk to him much that day. His mom came to set that day, and I was like, hey, Mom, look, I'm going to dog your son in this scene. So she was like, all right, do what you have to do. And, you know, I improv'd a lot. And especially when he fell on the floor and I step over him.
Yes.
He did not like that.
That was not in the script?
No, it was not. I just had to get my Iverson on, you know what I mean?
Yes, to his Tyron.
I saw the moment.
Like, you turned Magic Johnson into Ty Lue? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about it?
Bringing the different Laker dynasties together.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So much fun. DeVaughn Nixon of HBO's Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Winning Time airs Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO and HBO Max. It's 9 episodes for the season. Episode 1 just dropped, and the radio audience, terrestrial, back here on The Rich Eisen Show. DeVaughn Nixon, who plays Norm Nixon in Winning Time on HBO here on the program. So you are reading for going into this project,
right?
Fully aware that you are going to be playing your dad. Is that essentially it?
Yeah. My buddy texted me. He was like, "You should read for your pop," and I was like, "Huh, okay." So I immediately called my representation. I was like, "What is this project?" Because originally it was called Showtime, so I thought it was Showtime on Showtime.
Which is probably why it's not called Showtime
exactly.
on HBO.
Yeah, they can't go against they can't have their competitors' names.
You're certainly not going to name it Cinemax, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty either. So,
So, the script came to me from a buddy, called my representation, and then immediately within 3 days, I got a response. And I went in for a pre-read, got a call back, and nailed it.
So how are you feeling about? How's your family feeling about reading for Norm Nixon?
You know, my dad is pretty cool, lax guy, nondescript really. And I told him I got it. He was like, cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Not that he wasn't happy for me, but I mean, he won't laugh if something's not funny. He's just that guy. So I think internally I made him smile, but he's the type of person, if I score 30 points in a basketball game, he'll talk about the one time I didn't get back on defense. That's just like the competitive nature of who he is. He's an athlete. So.
Right, exactly. So let's just say, for instance, a scene we just saw a clip for to our terrestrial radio audience, a scene where Magic is obviously coming to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. He's going to take your character, your dad's job, Norm Nixon's job. Mm-hmm. It's a white party at Donald Sterling's house, which, at the time, who knew the irony about all that?
Right.
And Norm Nixon challenges Magic to a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
A hoops game. And right in front of the entire party, you start schooling him.
Yeah.
Right? And so did this really happen?
Okay. I mean, off the books, probably, they were competitive, might have gotten a game in, but, it's television, so everything's heightened. So they wanted to create that drama and, pit my dad against him a little bit. But ultimately, they figured out how to work together. It's just like anything. If somebody's threatening to take your spot or your position, you're kind of going to haze them a little bit. And my dad had been on the team like 2 years prior, and he had known Magic Johnson won the state championship, was a phenom. So it was kind of like a big brother kind of thing, like, show me what you got, Rook, kind of thing. That's why we call him Young Buck throughout the rest of the series, because he was a young buck coming in with Kareem and all of these vets on the team already, but we hadn't won yet. But
Sure.
Yeah.
And so did you reach out to your dad and show him some of these scripts? And
Yeah,
say,
I showed him.
With some of these
I showed him. I showed him the white scene in particular, and I showed him the scene where my character is first introduced, and I'm getting the pedicure in the salon, and he's like, "Man, I'm from Macon, Georgia. I ain't getting no pedicures, man. I don't wear no Virgo. Sorry. This is serious, right? This is okay. So I could say a little, okay, cool. Let me watch my mouth. But he was just like, man, he was like, I don't wear any of that. But he was just like, do your thing. I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna watch the show with him eventually, but I'm low key kind of scared. My stepmother actually called me last night. She was like, I heard you did a good job, so we're gonna watch it. But I actually want to watch it with him and see what he thinks. So.
Man, that would be, I mean, forget about the fact that he's your father. I would imagine any role that you play of anybody who's living, right? Yeah. That you'd sitting next to that person regardless. Now add the fact that he's obviously your dad. I mean, that would be intense.
And his thing was, I'm not a fictitious character walking around, so don't make me look stupid. That was his one thing, Right.
DeVaughn Nixon, who plays Norm Nixon in Winning Time, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. I would assume you are a Laker fan?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, born and raised in LA. So.
All right. So when was the first? What's your first Laker game? Your first Laker memory that you actually have?
I remember going into the locker room one time. There was this guy my mother knew. His name was Mark Scargan. He worked for the Lakers. He brought me down there. My dad brought me in the Laker room. I just remember seeing all these giants back then. And back then, the reporters were in there where the dudes were changing. I was like, what is going on in here? Now at this time, I mean, that definitely wouldn't happen. But I just remember seeing all these tall people like just towering over me. I remember I met Magic. I met Kareem. Kareem's actually been to our house a couple of times. My dad's still in contact with Coop. I mean, he does a show with Coop. And Magic I actually just recently ran into at the All-Star game in Cleveland. And I was like, what up, Magic? And he was like, hey, man, how you doing? How's Pops? Blah, 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 blah. So we all have a good relationship. But specifically, I just remember looking at those shorts. And I was like, what is happening?
Of the shortness of the shorts?
Oh, man, yeah. I mean, and when I really had to put those on, I was like, yo, these are some booty shorts. I was picking wedgies out my butt the whole goddamn time. I was like, I might as well work for Chippendales with these things on. But in the high socks, so I don't know, man. I just remember when I realized that my dad was a celebrity. And it was when we were walking around 3rd Street Promenade because they live in Santa Monica, and a whole bunch of people would come up, hey, Norm, Stormin', and like shout him out. Yeah. And I just look at him and I'd be like, you owe these people money? Did you work at AMC? Like, we going to the movie theater. So the concept of celebrity didn't sit in until I actually got older. And I was born in 83, like kind of at the height of it. So I don't remember too much about that time period. My time period was, Shaq and Kobe and Nick Van Exel. Nice. Who else? Elgin Campbell.
Eddie Jones.
Cedric Sabalas. All of those people. So that was my team back then that I grew up on.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Del Harris.
Yeah.
I think, is that the Del Harris appearing in...
Arliss?
No, in Space Jam era? Space Jam. Is that like Del Harris was the famous Lakers coach appearing in the Space Jam movies back in that day?
The Space Jam
Sabalos,
movies.
I think, was in Space Jam, too.
Was he?
I think he was.
Yeah, Del Harris
I saw the new
Space
one.
Jam. Yeah.
How's Winning Time?
Okay, yeah. Let's go back to Winning Time. Thank you for that, Rich. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for that.
What would LeBron rather us talk about? Space Jam 2 or Winning Time? Or the current Lakers right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually went to a game with some of my co-stars, John C. Reilly and Quincy and Jason Clark. I think we went to the Pelicans game.
Oh, no. That was not a good game, right?
No.
That was the one that they came in a Sunday night and just waxed the floor with them, right?
Waxed them. And I was just like, oh, man, this is not looking so good.
This does not match the hoopla of your show.
It doesn't. But, we got a championship in the bubble era. You know what I mean? Nobody else can say that they're going to do that. Hopefully we don't have a bubble again.
Yeah, right.
But,
of course, right.
Yeah, right. But I think... they just need to do some reconstruction over there.
Right.
I'm no basketball expert, but I don't know. Something's just not gelling. And we have some crazy talent on our team. I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. I'm just as confused as the Lakers are.
Right. They do. It just gets worse. It just seems to be falling apart.
Yeah.
And, now the concept that LeBron should sit out maybe the rest of the year, I don't agree with that.
I don't think he will. He's just too competitive for that, and I think that, especially when we witnessed them come back on the Warriors that one year, made that crazy comeback,
right.
And won the NBA championship. I think he has a fight in him. Hopefully, wait, what are the chances of us making it to the playoffs this year?
Well, I mean, it's the play-in game right now, right, Chris? That's going on, TJ, right?
So play-in, so you're the 9 seed right now. If the season ended today,
right?
The Clippers.
You play the Pelicans in the 10.
Oh.
And then if you win, you play the loser of 7-8, Timberwolves Clippers.
Got it. That play-in thing is a little confusing to me.
Yeah, it's play-in tournament.
Yeah.
That's it right now.
Hopefully, man, fingers crossed for us. You didn't say anything. You didn't even say anything.
No,
what would you do though if you're a GM, DeVaughn? Like, what's the fix? Is it trade Anthony Davis? Is it explore trade options for LeBron? Is it?
I don't know.
Russell Westbrook's got to go.
I love AD, man. I love him. He's just, when you're that tall and all the weight on those knees, because previous to this, to us filming the show, I actually tore my meniscus. I was on crutches 2 weeks prior to us shooting.
No, really?
Yeah, because we were training so crazy. And, I'm 38 years old. So, I mean, obviously, I had to condition myself, get into shape. But, I mean, it's brutal, especially if you're AD's height. You know what I mean? Or if you're as big as, what's his name, Zion?
Yeah.
That's why they keep getting hurt, because they're so big and they're so tall. You always have knee problems, all these things. So I don't know. I just love him. I just want him to get healthy. And I just feel like the team will gel if that happens, Mm-hmm. And then Westbrook I feel like has to find his way in there, because I don't know. Right now, I just feel like he's trying to, but it's just not happening for him,
DeVaughn Nixon here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's get back to winning time a little bit here before sending you into your good Thursday here. So the house, I just want to stick to what we've seen already here.
Yeah.
Because we do know the way that the story kind of goes anyway, but I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
So the house where you're playing one-on-one against the Magic Johnson character. Where is that house? Here in Los Angeles?
I believe, yes, it's in Los Angeles. I believe, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was Lucille Ball's old mansion.
Damn, I love Lucy.
Yeah.
Now, the basketball court.
Yeah.
The basketball court wasn't there. They
built it.
They built
that,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think? Desi Arnaz didn't take Fred Monk's one-on-one? Is what you're saying?
Lucy, you want to play some one-on-one? It's like, no, that's not happening.
Oh, Ricky. You know what? Vivian Vance had a great outside game.
Just working on some free throws or something.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean?
You guys didn't know Lucy had handles. People didn't know about her skills, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, Lucy hit his ass with the
That's
crossover.
cool, though. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And we had a whole bunch of extras. It was a scene, and it just got us in it. And especially with the wardrobe, the costumes, and the set design just really got everybody into character. And it was so easy to make that transition back into 79, 80s, man. And then they built a forum inside of LA Center Studios.
Oh, I wonder
when we played different teams, they picked up the floor and changed everything inside, like when we had Celtics games or Clipper games. It was insane.
I wonder if the Celtics games, if the floorboards are dead spots on
dead
it
spots.
too. Dead spots.
Yeah, right.
To make it accurate.
So you literally playing on parquet floors, like fake parquet floors?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
What did you learn that you didn't know watching the first episode? Because everyone's been talking this week about how much of a lunatic Jerry West is, which may or may not be true, might be turned up a little bit. Did anything surprise you?
I knew a lot, but I didn't really know how Jerry Buss acquired the team. I didn't know that he sold missiles. I didn't know any of his previous, backstory to him prior to buying the Lakers, to be honest.
Yeah, and if Jack Kent Cooke wasn't getting divorced,
and that might not have ever come to fruition. So I was just like, whoa, this is interesting. It was very revealing for me in some aspects.
What
Yeah,
a fun show.
Great
yeah.
show,
I mean, what
Looking
a
forward to the rest
fun
of it.
show. I'm looking at your credits, and again, I'm hesitant to ask, but I'll ask it anyway
Go
because
ahead.
I don't know if this is true or not. Were you on one episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I was. I
All right.
was, man.
Well, give me the
Yeah,
scoop.
man, it was really, really fun. I played Will Smith's son in a dream sequence, and he has a flashback because he wants a perfect house, perfect wife, perfect life. And I think my name was Shaquille, actually. And I remember one line I say, he was like, go. Because I was like a dork, and he hands me a basketball. And I'm like, what is this, Dad? I'm like, are you referring to the sport with spherical objects on the opposite ends of the court? I literally say that. And so that's really funny that you brought that up, because it has to do with ball. So that was a really fun episode for me to shoot. Will Smith was incredible. And hope he wins the Academy Award for King Richard.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
He's incredible in that role.
Yeah.
So do you still get a residual check from that?
Oh, yeah, man.
What is it, 13 cents? What do you got?
Probably, yeah. You're about right. Maybe
I can go residual.
I'm like, doesn't it cost more to print paper?
It does.
Then to give you the 13 cents?
You know what, DeVaughn, you may have missed my not one but two star turns as male reporter on CSI Miami in two different episodes.
Hey, good job.
You may have missed it.
Yeah, you came a long way, Rich.
But I will sometimes get a check for like 8 cents.
Yeah.
And the stamp costs 55.
Yeah.
You know?
I've gotten a check for a penny before.
Is that right?
I swear.
Damn straight you cash it
Yeah,
though, right?
yeah. I did like a little voiceover on Bebe's Kids, and I got a check for a penny.
We don't
I was
die.
like, balling.
We multiply.
Drinks on me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and the Bodyguard, you were in Bodyguard as well?
Yeah, that was a really cool part of my career. Got to meet Whitney Houston, Kevin Costner, obviously. And aside from them, I was 8 when I did it. I didn't really even care who they were. I was just infatuated with the snow that I saw for the first time in Lake Tahoe, because that's where we filmed. When I'm about to, die on the boat and the boat's about to blow up. I didn't care about anything but the snow. I was like, can we get to Lake Tahoe, please? And my mom's like, don't you know who this is? I was like, don't care. I want to make a snowball.
Don't care.
I just could not imagine if I was 8 and I saw Whitney Houston.
I
was just
know.
like, oh my God. This could be one of the most beautiful people I've ever laid my
And
eyes
she
on.
was, man. She would sing to me in the trailer.
Come on.
And I was like, wow, you can sing? I was like, wow, this is sick. Cool, thank you.
Life is wild, man.
It is wild. It
And
is
now
wild.
you're playing your dad on a red hot show on HBO and just one episode in. So congratulations to that.
Thank you so much.
And I look forward to seeing the way the rest of this series plays out, because it's a ton of fun.
Thank you.
Just a ton of fun. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. You got a
Hey,
DeVaughn.
DeVaughn,
awesome.
your dad was a former Clipper. I mean, you ever thought about jumping ship? And
yeah.
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you put it, by the way, do you see he brought the
Tell
present?
riders, look, hey, man, you should come on board. I'll talk to Max and Rodney and Jim and all of them. Yeah, man.
Just saying, I broke out my Norm Nixon Clippers jersey today for you.
Yeah.
You know,
He was an
just to say.
all-star on the Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very well aware of where
Oh,
your
you know
father's career.
more stats than me, so let me shut up before you start.
No, not at all. I just like the fact, TJ, that you're shooting your shot right now.
Always, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to rep the Clips.
But like, what would you do if you actually renounced the Lakers on this program for the Clippers? Like, what would would that go over well? You think?
Yeah. I don't know, Rick. You're putting me in a tough position.
He's royalty in both locker rooms,
What is that?
so it doesn't matter.
The Clippers and Lakers is two opposite ends with a spheroid hoop or whatever that line is. Like that? Okay. Great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys so much.
You got it. DeVaughn Nixon, everybody. Check out again. Winning Time, airing Sunday nights at 9 Eastern on HBO and HBO Max. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.